So, they are there on the dummy grid. So let's go through the grid of this one once again. And it's going to be Charlie Field and Finley Harrison on row number 1, Ellis Borchia and Jerome Phillip on 2. Row 3 is Joshua Patterson and Kyle Slee. Milo Pilford and Christian Brooks are row 4. Row 5, Scott Smith and Rito Kamata. Olivier Algieri and Vinnie Lloyd-Chamberlain make up row 6. Row 7 is Benedict Davies and Zaki Hussein. Lorenzo Cordell, and hopefully, if kart and driver are up to it, Jolie Pettit, after that incident earlier on, will be row 8. Row 9 will be Benjamin Watts and Dane Tucker. Lucas Ellingham and Thomas Mullett on row 10. Row 11 will be Mackenzie Stevens. Dan Hackett and Mackenzie Stevens. Sam Baker and Jaden Gregg on row 12. Row 13 will be Jude Fernerhoff and Macy Hitter. Alex Johnston and Sam Longley on 14. And row 15 to round out your top 30 is Reece Blakely and Kian Gamayo. Kyan Gohill and Hugo Gilbert make up row 16, and row 17 is Remy Gilbert and Kai Carrington. And I'm really hoping that this time we'll be able to call those drivers in a different order.
Well, they can't even get around the formation lap, unfortunately. It's 2 drivers in trouble there.
Yeah, it's the number 13 and the 39. Shout if you spot it on the order, Chris. I'm just going to do Scott
Smith on the 39 was lining up 9th.
Zaki Hussein.
Zaki Hussein as well.
Who had a strong race earlier on. So are we going to be able to... Ironically, might we have to have a genuine full start here?
Yeah.
Let's see if they get this one going. They are recovering it quickly. And no, it is a full start.
I think we'll hand the drivers...
All the drivers will have their heart in their mouths now.
Trouble on that warm-up lap. So just to recap, of course, if you're just joining us, this race should have taken place before the senior race, but it was written off basically because of repeated full starts, and unfortunately, well, the grid had lined up fairly well there, but there was trouble on the formation lap with 2 drivers hitting trouble. Basically, to cut a long story short, there was repeated full starts, so the car for the course had enough, and we're going to pull them into the garage, have a word, and try again.
Yeah, the drivers would do well to do their please and thank yous, as it were, with regards to this start, albeit that was a legitimate reason for false starting. This time they really do need to be on it with this start, keep it clean. We've just seen the X30 seniors suspiciously good at this, having just seen their junior X30 colleagues getting told off for it. So let's see if this time, it looks to me like all the carts are recovered, all the tellings off has happened, all the drivers are lined up 2 by 2 in grid formation. Can we have a clean start here? Yes, we can. Charlie Field will lead them away into oblivion. Can they all get through the first couple of corners cleanly up the hill for the first time? It is still Charlie Field, but he's under a lot of pressure here from that. Looks to me like it might... Oh, I didn't catch who that was actually as they came into Christmas Corner through the top of the circuit, but I think we did have a change of the lead there. Going defensive there into the corner. Difficult to spot them in this light, I won't lie, as they come through out of Ashby for the first time.
That's the 58, I think that's Bourchier that's taken the early lead.
Yeah, and Finley Harrison has managed to get up to second place as well, so good start from the 98, or gone back up to second I should say, because Harrison did start this one for a second, but had dropped down somewhat in the early part of this first lap. So as they come round to finish, and it is the full 8 minutes that they're being given, so that is generous there from race control. Ellis Borchia leads, Finley Harrison in second, Charlie Field in third. As up the hill.
Well, it's certainly worth the wait, that start. It took a while to get going as Harrison has looked down the inside. 92 hits trouble. Now that may well be the machine of Kyle Slee. Driver seems okay, and the race goes on, of course. So Finley Harrison is your new race leader. Charlie Field and Olivier Algieri all very close as well. Christian Brooks, Lorenzo Cordell fighting through the field. 7 positions in 1 lap for the number 20 of Lorenzo Cordell, one of the front runners in heat number 1. So definitely, Howard, it's taken a long time to get this race going, but most definitely worth the wait.
Absolutely. Can I just say as well, Jolie Pettit is out there circulating, so fair play. After a bit of a scare in the earlier heat there, we do have the number 16 circulating in this race. As up the hill this time, it is a challenge from, I think that's Christian Brooks, trying to get through and following through as well as Lorenzo Cordell. And how well did he read that? Got 2 positions in the corner. He followed Christian Brooks through in the initial phase and then went And actually, whilst I'm here, I'll overtake my own battering ram as well. Brilliant stuff.
That is classic racecraft there, Howard, I would say. It's just sitting on the back bumper there, and then the opportunity comes in. Don't need to be asked twice. Just sneak down there and take the position. I don't think Caudle was expecting that, was he? But no. The opportunity came across, and he found it could get through cleanly. And Caudle has had a fantastic race up. He made 7 positions up on the first lap. We'll just confirm this on the timing chart. He should be in around 4th position, 3rd actually, I beg your pardon. So Caudle up to 3rd. And Algieri, the 2.36 who we've seen shot there, fastest driver on the track, has got to try and get past Finley Harrison, the race leader.
As that looks like Lucas Ellingham going down the inside of Charlie Field into Christmas Corner. So Ellingham working his way up, featured prominently, of course, in heat number 1. That looked as well to me like, was that Cordell under pressure from Brooks?
Yeah, it looks like Brooks made the move as well.
Yes, it is Christian Brooks. Can see his high vis helmet there just in 3rd. So change of position for 3rd again, as ahead of them, Finley Harrison tries to keep Olivier Algieri at arm's length. And there's Lucas Ellingham shooting the gap as well on Ellis Borchia there, and Borchia is going to be under pressure immediately from Charlie Field as well. So plenty of battling going in on just amongst the top 10 here. And I'll remind you that there's 20 other carts behind them all having a good battle as well.
I have to say here, looking at Brooks there, the high-vis helmet, the Dayglow helmet's a boon for commentators, isn't it? It makes it so easy to pick them out. There he is. He's held on to that 3rd, actually, from Lorenzo Cordell. There he is. So, actually pulling away now from Cordell. So, Christian Brooks, the 82 in 3rd, trying to close up on Algieri, who was the fastest driver on the track, along with Finley Harrison. And, well, Brooks would be very well served here just to try and get onto the back of Algieri, because those two are setting a very good pace at the front.
Milo Pilford, I think, got by Charlie Field at the start of this lap as well, so expect to see a change in position over 7th on your timing tower there. No, it wasn't. It was actually Patterson getting by Pilford. There we go. Joshua Patterson now up into 8th place, as here is Lucas Ellingham down the inside of Lorenzo Cordell.
Yeah, he's had a good steady race there, Ellingham, hasn't he? Finding his way through the field.
And let's not forget, that's a repeat of what we saw in heat number 1 of Ellingham
right.
getting by Cordell. So that's a battle resumed between those two.
Fairly close, actually, on the edge of the top 10 as the Harrison and Algieri, the leaders, try to pull away. We're looking at Borchia, the early leader, now in 6th place. Charlie Field, Joshua Patterson, Milo Pilford, who drops to 9th, and Jerome Phillip, all pretty close there on the edge of the top 10, only a couple of seconds covering them. We're looking at the head of this battle at the moment. And there we see, right nestled in there, is the number 58 Ellis Borchia, 6th position Charlie Field. Incredibly close on the edge of the top 10 as they make their way through oblivion. The leaders now making their way up to Christmas Corner as Lorenzo Cordell tries to fight back, but Ellingham's got this line covered, and Algieri leaning on Harrison now. Yeah,
a lot of pressure being brought to bear now on our race leader. Fastest lap in the race Algieri had the last time around, and managed to close it by just over 1/10 of a second, so he is right on the tail. The question will be, does he want to start battling yet, or does he want to give it a little while, see if they can open up a bit of a gap on Christian Brooks? This is similar to what we saw a couple of races ago, where you have to make the judgment as 2nd place. If you genuinely feel you have the pace advantage to take the lead, you go, how quick are those guys behind me actually catching up? Because if we're opening a gap by working together, I'll leave it a few laps. But if this person is quote-unquote slowing me down in a relative sense, I need to get past now and try and open up a gap for myself.
And you've got to be careful sometimes as well, because adding on to that is the fact you don't want to give, if you've got a good line through a particular corner, sometimes you don't want to give the game away to your rival in front. So a bit of tactics here from Algieri. Is he going to stick or twist, you might say? Is he going to go for the lead, or we've still got 2 laps to go plus the 1? He'll see, if he looks at the timing screen, he'll see the time left in the race. So Algieri at the moment has got time on his side here. They're going to get a couple of more laps in before that last lap board. So, but again, we're looking at Brooks. He's closing up in 3rd. So Algieri, tricky moment for him here.
Yeah, and I feel like Brooks and Ellingham are working together here. They can see the opportunity ahead of them. It's not that far up the road. Well, I say that. Ellingham there looked like he was about to go to the inside. We'll see if that paid off this time through. Yes, it did. So Ellingham isn't working together. He's decided he can catch up to the leaders by himself, thank you very much, and has put in the move there. But I don't think they'll have necessarily lost too much time there. Again, there's a slight different mentality as well, potentially, between the heats and the final. Maybe possibly. In the final he'd go, well, hey, there's a big trophy up the road if I can work together with this guy, whereas here he might be going, no, just give me a good slot, and if I catch up, I catch up.
At the moment, Brooks here just tagging onto the back here of Ellingham as they go through third and fourth place. Certainly no big rush at the moment to go for the pass. He's going to bide his time, look at lines here, trying to find a way through, but Ellingham going a little bit defensive, but can afford to take the racing line through Christmas Corner. Brooks still tagging in there. Is he going to have a look going down towards Ashby? The battle for the lead still pretty close. There's Cordell just a little bit further behind, watching in 5th place. There we see the number 48. Just a little bit behind. That's also Bourchier a little bit further behind as well. 28 of Pilford. So that's Johnston, the 8th position driver. As again we look at Brooks going through boots, just tagging onto the back there, just shadowing the 99 of Ellingham as 72 hits trouble. That's further down the field, of course.
Dane Tucker.
Dane Tucker, driver walking away, so evidently well, it looks like some sort of mechanical issue there. Back to the pits. 10 seconds to go, so it'll be 2 laps to go in effect in this race as Harrison leads into Christmas Corner. The rest of the top 10 screaming up towards Christmas Corner. And there we go, the clock down. Next time around will be the last lap, so shaping up here, Howard, to be a good final lap.
Absolutely. This one could be a bit of a grandstand finish here as Ellingham goes defensive on Christian Brooks and goes defensive again into Osiers. Now that's going to mean that Brooks has a better run onto the back straight. Whether he can do anything with it into the boot is a second issue. Here are the leaders, Finley Harrison there. And I think there's some traffic at play as well there. So one of the carts there isn't in our consideration as Ellingham's going defensive there into oblivion of all places. So that's interesting as the traffic gets out of the way. That's good heads up driving there from the driver in the 92. Good driving, Kyle, who had issues earlier on. So did well to acknowledge that the leaders were coming through. And here come through our race leaders then. I think Algier is a bit too far back to give Harrison any grief on this last lap.
Here they come then down towards boot for the final time. It looks at the moment like Harrison's done enough. Oh, trouble here.
As tyre rubbing for the 48 of Alex Johnston.
He's got very close on the edge of that top 10, so he should finish the race. That shouldn't cause him too much. Well, he's just got to try and nurse the cart. Harrison wins, Algieri second, Brooks third on the final lap. Cordell fourth, and Ellingham, well, whatever's happened here, we seem to have lost Ellingham, who finishes in 11th place. So whilst we're looking at that battle for the lead there, Howard, I think out of shot, whether that's connected to the issue with Alex Johnston and the rubbing tyre, for whatever reason, the unfortunate Lucas Ellingham drops down to 11th place.
Yep, it's a smoky finish to this one here at Wilton Mill, but that is Junior Heat, X30 Junior Heat number 2.